Guys, this is Lord Chael speaking on behalf of our show sponsor, Established Titles. Established Titles is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lords and ladies. They allow you to buy as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land so you can officially call yourself a lord or a lady. Established Titles is not just about your ego, you also get to do some good. In addition to your new fancy title, Established Titles supports global charities, like One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, to help with their afforestation efforts. Your title pack gives you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate in Scotland. And your official certificate proves your title, as well as your unique plot number, where you can see the exact location of your land. Getting the certificate even allows you to officially change your name to Lord or Lady. Put it on your credit cards, your plane tickets, or even your dating profiles. Established Titles is currently having an extended New Year sale just for you guys. And on top of that, you can get an additional 10% off any purchase you make with discount code CHAEL. So click on the link below or go to establishedtitles.com/Chael. Use the promo code CHAEL to save an extra 10% today. Leon is officially going to fight Kamaru Usman for the championship, which tells me whoever Chimaev fights next, if he wins, Chimaev has to fight for the belt. Look, guys, 170 pounds is a roster full of straight-up killers that nobody gives a damn about. That is not your fault. Don't feel bad as a fan. That is 100% on them. They don't seem to want to realize the importance of having you guys care. If you can get the matches that you want and you can get those opportunities, then you must be doing everything right. Well, unless you come in second. I have seen guys have world title fights and not even be on main cards in the future. If you have a world title fight, which means you get one thing, which is a platform and a marquee position, and you do not use that to set up your future, that's on you. Everybody else has given you the opportunity. I will not predict for you that this fight is going to be some massive event when it goes off. It's going to be a hard fight. Kamaru Usman is fully well. It's going to be a hard fight. And for whatever reason, I got to deal with this guy a second time just to get him off my back. He's won 8 in a row. He hadn't lost in 5 years. I deny nothing. Bring him on, but bring him on quickly so I can be done with it and I can move on to something that the people want to see, right? I mean, it's one of those spots. Now, Leon has an opportunity to flip all of that and smash all of that in our faces. I'm predicting for you he doesn't take it. I'm going to predict that for you, that he is not going to go out there and do anything interesting. The mere fact that Colby and Masvidal are going to fight, take 2 major players off the board, but in no make-believe land, is that the number 1 contenders fight? So we know that's not going to be for the belt, and we just removed 2 studs. So now you're left out there with Luque, whatever's going on with Chimaev, which I really don't know, and I went from being really curious to now I'm starting to get pissed off about. It's halfway annoying. Maybe Chimaev is shooting straight with us, so I can't blame Chimaev, but somebody somewhere knows something where you've taken the most interesting guy in the division off of the board. I don't get it, but the player left that matters is Luque. Are we going to put Chimaev in there in a fight that doesn't matter? Maybe. He could do it on his own right now. He's barely got a ranking. He's brand new into the top 10. So you could throw a dart at the wall and put him somewhere that makes a level of sense. Everybody's going to be interested no matter what it is. But if he does go in there with a Vincent Luque, by example, then I think that we have to revisit the only statement that's been made by the boss about Chimaev, which is that Chimaev is 4 fights away from being in a conversation for a title fight. I don't think it can be that way. I mean, this whole thing is a job interview. This is a job. You're trying to get a position. You're trying to get a better position. If nobody shows up to the interview, if nobody applies for the position just by default, that one person who can fog a mirror gets it. But when that one person who can fog a mirror happens to be Chimaev, who is a darling of the media, oh, and by the way, is completely undefeated, oh, and by the way, has finished everybody, and oh, by the way, has never left the first round, then maybe you got to start to look back at a few of those things. And I don't know that Chimaev needs to thank himself or his trainers or his management. I don't think he does. I think he needs to thank the rest of the division for being so goddamn underwhelming. These guys, when I tell you they're doing nothing, they're talking about what they've already done. When in life has that ever got you anywhere? Throw me one example. I'd love to hear it. Oh, it's testing. No, teacher, I don't have to do that because if you look at my last 3 scores, I got A's on all of them. It doesn't work that. I'll give a goddamn what you did last time. Take this test. We have guys with 170-pound divisions that want to start reading their resumes to us. If you're telling me your resume, you've already failed. If I don't know off the top of my head what your wins and losses are, what your ranking is, and believe me, I don't know, you've already failed. Why would you tell me what your record is? Well, I'm 17-2, and that's a pretty good record. If you're telling me records that I don't know anyway, just tell me you're 30-0. Now at least I'll think you're an impressive guy. You think I'm going to go fact check that? I don't care at all. Do I find you interesting? If I do, I'll come along the journey. If I don't find you interesting, I don't care how many gold medals you got. I'm not going to be there to watch you try to get your next one. I'm standing back staring at 170 pounds. Kamaru Usman, the stud that he is going to give an opportunity and preserve integrity to the sport. Because Leon is the rightful guy. No way around it. 5 years without losing. 8 matches without losing. Include co-main events, include main events. He's done everything that one needs to do. The reason I do have to give credit to Kamaru Usman is because he's already done it. Kamaru already fought Leon. So Kamaru, who's the champion, who's already done that once, is playing by a different set of criteria. We do not have to tell him you have to go out and fight this guy again, or you're bringing shame to yourself and your team. Not when he's already done it. It's different. But Kamaru, purely because this is who he is as a human, is saying, yes, the chance is yours. Somebody gave me my chance one day, and I'm going to give it to you, even if it's the second time. I like it, and I respect it. That doesn't mean it's the most interesting match that we can come to. And it really doesn't make a damn bit of difference because that match is signed and it's going to happen. And the only thing we care about as fans is what is next. We don't care about what happened yesterday. We don't walk around and talk about Super Bowl 16, Super Bowl 4. It just doesn't work that way. I watch SportsCenter every single night. But I don't see Joe Montana or John Elway up on the desk because it was yesterday. We care as fans whether we've identified this successfully in ourselves or not, but our piece of psychology, we want to know what is next. So what is next? Generally, the math that we would do, guys, is we would just deduce what other fights are signed, what are the dates those are signed. Okay, by the way, between those fights, what is the most competitive, what is the hardest, and what are we looking forward to the most? Whatever one that is, we will identify as the number one contenders bout. That is Colby versus Masvidal. That is not a number one contenders bout. We then have some make-believe land where Chimaev's got to wait another 15 months. Wait for what? Wait for these guys to speak up less? Wait for these guys to underwhelm us more? Wait for these guys to wake up and have the sense that God gave these to go out and claim what is theirs, that they claim and tell people they're willing to fight for, but they don't? What is it Chimaev has to wait on? The argument is real simple. Chimaev's had 4 fights. Usman is the greatest fighter in the world, which he is ranked number 1, and that ranking's right. Usman is the current best, period. Put him in any weight class, he'll beat everybody. What's to say Usman's going to be the champion? You're telling me that Chimaev isn't ready for Leon? How'd you come to that conclusion considering that fight was signed 11 months ago? You already signed him against Leon. What would the difference be if a belt's up? None. No difference. Leon's got equal opportunity here. Usman will be the favorite. They're doing the same thing they've already done once. I get all of those things. Leon has a real opportunity here. And if Leon grabs that belt and Chimaev does anything in the meantime, we're not just making a world title fight an opportunity for Chimaev. We're just redoing a fight that was promised to us last year.